Hi there and welcome back to my channel. I'm Helen and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you the books I'm going to be reading in January 2020. So for 2020 I've decided that the way I'm going to pick my books is each month I'm going to choose 8 books I want to read and then I'm going to do a challenge of some sort to choose the other 2. This might change over the course of the year. But that's what I'm going to start off with. So I've chosen 8 books and the challenge I am going to do is this month I'm going to scroll through my Goodreads until I come across a book I have not read yet. And when I come across that book, that'll be one of my books, I'll refresh, scroll again until I come to another book, or I might just continue scrolling, and that'll be the book that I read. And I got this idea from Becca in the Books, her TBR video a few months ago, I cannot remember which month, had this as one of the challenges, and I thought it was a really good idea and a way for me to read more books. So that's what I'm going to do. So the first book I want to read is Philip Pullman's The Book of Dust Part 2, The Secret Commonwealth. This is the sequel to La Belle Sauvage, which I really liked, and I'm looking forward to this because it is about Lyra when she is older. The Book of Dust series is a companion series to Northern Lights, or His Dark Materials, which follows Lyra, who lives in this world where everyone has a daemon, a extension of them, essentially their soul, which is an animal. This one is in Lyra's world, of course, except Lyra is a university student. The last one was prior to His Dark Materials and Lyra was a baby. The second book I want to read is one I've been excited about for so long and just haven't read, and that is The Beautiful by Roenick. This is about vampires in New Orleans in the 19th century. So it is several of my favourite things: gothic, vampires, historical fiction, and Roenick's writing. I loved it. I loved the Wrath and the Dawn. I need to read more of her books, and this one came in a fairy loot box. It has beautiful sprayed edges, and I thought, why not start with this one? So I'm going to be reading this in 2020. Next we have a few non-fictions, the first of which is Warrant, Society and Revolutionary Europe, 1770 to 1870. This I started, it's incredibly dry, but I want to learn more about war and revolution in this period. Obviously this is Europe, so it won't talk about the American Revolution, but we have lots of revolutions in France, as you can probably tell from the front cover. A lot went on in this period. We've got some revolutions in Russia. Yeah, it was quite a important period in European history. My big issue with this book is I started it, and it did fairly early on say that women were so unimportant that they virtually didn't exist, which I disagree with wholeheartedly. Then to counter that, I'm reading a non-fiction book I think I will love, and that is The Five by Hayley Rubenhall. This is the untold lives of the women killed by Jack the Ripper, and it goes into a lot of detail about how they were not prostitutes and how the depiction of them in popular culture is wrong, and I'm very excited to read this. It's also an incredibly beautiful book, and it's one I've been looking forward to for a very long time, so I'm going to read this in the beginning of 2020. My third and final non-fiction book, assuming Goodreads doesn't give me some, is Capital by Thomas Pickett, or Capital in the 21st Century. My granddad lent me this book, and it is a brief introduction to economics, I think, which is something I know almost nothing about but would quite like to learn some more about, so I'm going to read this. Possibly will cry over it. It is huge, or quite big, for a non-fiction book. I mean, obviously non-fiction books are quite big normally, but like, non-fiction books always seem longer to me than fiction. Possibly because I read more fiction. In fact, almost certainly because I read more fiction, but I'm gonna persevere through this. This is ironic, as the last few non-fiction books I have just not finished. But 2020 is going to be a new era for me. I'm going to read more non-fiction, I'm gonna succeed in finishing more non-fiction, and I'm going to discover more favourites. So this is one of them. This is going to be one of them. I am a little bit apprehensive of this. I've always thought economics is probably incredibly boring, but hopefully it'll be really fun. or not fun. Hopefully it'll be very informative. And then the final book I have in this list is S by J.J. Abrahams and Doug Dorse. This is a book within a book, and I believe it has 2 storylines, or 3 storylines. The plotline of the book itself, which I will pull out. The plotline of the Ship of Theseus. So it has that. It then has a plotline about who Straka, the author, is, the mysterious author. And then finally, it has annotations throughout. And these are another story between 2 people, a conversation. So I'm really looking forward to this. I'm currently reading House of Leaves, and I have a feeling that this will be quite similar, even if it's told in a slightly different format. The final 2 books in this pile of 8 are both Harry Potters. I was meant to read Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince in December, but I didn't. So I'm going to be reading these 2 this month. These are the final 2 books, and I kind of, at this point, just want to get this reread of Harry Potter over with. Okay, so let's find out what other 2 books I'm going to be reading. Hopefully they'll be good. I'm really scared there'll be genres that I hate. Right, okay, I'm on Goodreads. Ooh, it's a Marcus Zuzak quote today. It's loading. Oh, okay, so immediately found my first book, and it is The Iron Trial by Holly Black, which is the first book in the Magisterium trial. Yeah, my second book is going to be All the Wicked Girls by Chris Whitaker. Neither of which I own, so I will have to buy them. But I'm looking forward to reading those. I'll show you the cover of each of them. There's the Magisterium, The Iron Trials Book 1, and here is All the Wicked Girls. There we go. So the ones I think I'm plus 2 more, obviously. The ones I think I'm most excited for is The Book of Dust and the Beautiful. And I think I'm least excited for War and Society in Revolutionary Europe. But I do need to finish this and give it back to my old history teacher. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you've read any of these books or think they look good, let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like it, maybe go have a look at my socials. My Twitter is @catsandteabooks, and my Instagram is @readingwithcatsandtea. I will link my Goodreads down below. And yes, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a really wonderful start to 2020. I cannot believe it is almost here. I will see you in my next video. Bye!